Let's discuss filmmakers versus content creators because there is a difference and we need to know both and the values they bring. Welcome to Filmmakers United. Today's discussion is content creators versus filmmakers. What are the differences? What do they even mean? Are they not the same thing?
What the f*** is with this guy? Who is he?
No, they're not. I don't think it's fair to categorize both as the same because they are totally different things, and knowing the values of each will help you better understand your course, your career choices. Before we go any further, I do want to address both are storytellers and both are sustainable career choices. And to be fair, you can actually be both.
Best to be prepared for both.
I've seen a lot of channels on YouTube that are teaching the principles of filmmaking, yet none of them have ever actually made a film. You're not teaching the principles of filmmaking, you are teaching the principles of content creation.
That's why I'm here.
So let's just start breaking it down. Content creators. Content creators are people making content for consumption basically on social media and platforms online. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, Twitter, Vine, MySpace, Facebook, all those places. The people who are those types of celebrities, Mr. Beast, Casey Neistat, those are content creators. Those are people who are creating content for people to consume. Simple as that. This includes this video right now. This is a video that I'm creating content for people. Another thing about content creation, it's a lot faster pace of making content. Typically, you might be a one-man band. You're shooting, you're editing, you're directing, you're producing, you're probably in front of the camera as well, and then you're putting it out there on social media. As you get bigger, maybe you bring in people to do those services for you, but a lot of it is just you making your own content and doing it yourself. With film, you have to have a crew. It is next to impossible to make a film by yourself and not bring in the services of other people. With film, you have actors, you have crew, you have department heads, you have producers. You have to have this team because there's so much thought and collaboration and just a different style of creativity that goes into it that you can't do it solo. It's impossible. At least I've never met anyone who has. The other thing with filmmaking is typically it's a little higher production value. That's not to say that content creation there isn't high production value, because I've seen just some incredible content on YouTube these people are making and I'm just like blown away. However, it is, important to kind of recognize that, cinematography may not be as good in content creation. I mean, I'm using just a couple lights to shoot this. In film, you could have 20 lights set up depending on the scope of the shot. It's just a little bit different on the equipment you're using. I mean, I'm shooting this on a DSLR. If I was shooting a film, I would be using, an RE, a RED, something a little bit bigger with a little more range that I can do things with. And with that, the equipment's a lot more expensive. So it's cheaper to get into content creation, I'll tell you that. The last difference I want to address between content creators and filmmakers is the difference in content that you're actually making. To call yourself a filmmaker, you have to be making either a short film, a feature film, a television series or new media, or a documentary. Honestly, outside of that, I think you fall more in the category of content creator. Filmmakers, the content they're creating are in a different category of storytelling because their stories are meant to be digested in a movie theater, on TV, on streaming platforms, on DVD. Basically anything that could be distributed under those basic rights in film distribution. With content creator, your content is sort of more based on the value it brings. And most videos that are for consumption on social media platforms will do one of the three. They'll either entertain you, educate you, or inspire you, or a combination of them. Film is a lot more storytelling, narrative based in a sense. Now there's sort of this gray area in between both of them, and that's where I like to put music videos and commercials, because it's not quite one or the other. You are doing a lot of storytelling, but you're also creating content. Maybe it's a little shorter form content, which would fall kind of more in the content creation side of things, but it is at a much higher production value. Same with music videos. So those I I would say you're pretty good to consider them in either category. Now, why is this important? I really do think it's important to understand what you do and what kind of content you're making, and so you understand what your role is and how to address yourself. It doesn't serve anyone by saying you're a filmmaker, but you don't make films.
Now, I'm not some grungy wannabe filmmaker.
If someone's like, oh, what have you done? And you can't tell them a film and you just tell them a YouTube channel, well, that's not a filmmaker. Just say you're a content creator. There's no shame in that. In fact, there's a lot of money to be made in content creation, and it's probably more readily available to just the average Joe than being a filmmaker, because very few people make it to that status level of like listing off movies that people have heard of. So you can almost have more pride in saying you're a content creator. I know, like with my resume, I say I'm a filmmaker / content creator because I do both. I like to make both, and I understand the difference of each. And with that, I kind of classify myself as both.
You consider me the best actor / model, and not the other way around.
Anyway, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this. Is there a line drawn in the sand between both, or are they just synonymous words, titles? Is there another category I missed? Is there other points to this conversation that I'm missing? Well, I'd love to hear what you have to say, so comment below with that. I would also really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. Thanks for checking out Filmmakers United. See you in the next video.